Welcome everyone to another Starfield video. I've been playing Starfield for about 150 hours and I wanted to make a video of my top 15 tips and tricks that I use pretty much every time I play. These are a variety of tips, so there should be something for everyone. My first tip, and I've made some regrets, is investing in combat perks. Really, this game's combat is pretty easy. I play on the hardest difficulty, and I have no problem with my weapons killing enemies. So really, these were, I think, my first two perks that I did, and I regret doing them. I wish I would have done them anywhere else. So yes, learn from my mistakes. You don't need any of these unless you want them, but none of them are necessary. For my second tip, once you come to Neon, there's a side quest that you end up learning about Aurora, and you can end up crafting it. It is contraband, so you have to kind of smuggle it. So if you are leaning more into the bad guy route, or if you want to, create an Aurora smuggling ring, then this tip's for you. Once you learn how to craft Aurora, it's pretty expensive to buy the items. As with everything, the economy kind of downplays the selling aspect. You don't get a ton, but one of the ingredients is chasm bass oil, which you can buy from vendors in Neon. It's a random encounter. Some have them, some don't, but it's 274 for each one. If you get a complete Aurora, you can sell it for about 100. So you're going to be losing money if you do it this way. So instead of buying chasm bass oil or trying to randomly find it, you can go straight to the source, and in the underbelly, all the way over by Jennerdyne, you can go in this elevator and go down, and you can actually go and hunt your own chasm bass. I'm not going to say that you'll loot it every single time, but you can see that, hey, there's one over there. There are some shark whales as well, but they are down here. Here, let me... Okay, so he's dead, so now I'm just going to... walk out here. It's very shallow. And there we go. So you can do it this way, save you 274 credits, and you can actually make a profit with Aurora this way. The other two ingredients are pretty common. My third tip is the game has shown that you can trade with pretty much any ship when you're traveling. If you fly to Deimos Star Yard, there's a dozen ships that spawn that you can end up trading with all these. They don't have like the 5,000, 11,000 that some of the vendors on the ground have, but there are a lot of them. They range anywhere from 800 credits to I think like 2,500 credits. So you can, if you run out of people to sell to, you can come up here and there's a ton of them. They just spawn in. You can do multiple ones. There's some on this side. They're all over the place. That brings me into my next tip, which Star Yards have resource delivery missions that you can do for those who like to play with outposts. It also helps get rid of some of your resources. Each of these star yards, the major star yards, they have a representative that you can go to and request a resource quest, and they range anywhere from like 500 to 2,000 to even 5,000 quantity, like copper, iron. I have one here that I got, and Sandra's the Demos's one. Go here, and it's she wanted me to get copper. You have to have it in your ship hull, and they pay double what the individual prices that you would get. So copper usually sells for one credit a piece, so she pays you 2. So the next tip I have is during space combat, you can disable the engines of opponents and dock them like so. And doing so allows you to steal the ship, any of the items inside of it, which includes the valuable contraband. And then you can end up selling it for a couple thousand a piece. Enter the ship, kill everyone, like a lot of you guys know. One of the things is to make sure you look around for any contraband that does not go with you, anything valuable like this. There's some contraband right here. Grab that. Some more right there. They're all over the place, and then gotta kill the crew. All right. Loot everyone. And make sure you check the cargo holds. There's credits in there. And the captain's locker. And then I usually run around the ship real fast with my scan on. It picks up any contraband I missed, such as this right here. And I'm going to just make sure I didn't miss anything. When you end up selling this ship, you end up getting a bunch of these miscellaneous items, but contraband is not part of it. I've tested it. I left contraband on the ship, and then when I go to sell it, it's not in my inventory or my ship's inventory. So something to be careful about. So now I'm going to go steal or sell the ship. How I like to do it is I end up going to sell the contraband first, which I sell in the den, in the wolf system, or you can do it at Red Mile. The reason why I sell my contraband at either the Red Mile or the den is because it avoids all those contraband scans. Therefore, you don't have to invest in like shielded cargo. You don't have to buy it from, it's actually this guy here has it. The key also has some vendors that you can buy shielded cargo from. So the bartender here, you could sell contraband to. So I picked up 3 of them. They sell for quite a bit. I'm not going to sell to her because she doesn't have any credits. And then to sell your ship, you talk to this guy, and you have to make your home ship not what you want to sell. Come back. One word of warning: you can, in his menu, you can register your ship directly. once you go to the sell menu, and then you can hit A on the controller to sell. You see that register ship for 11,149. You can see down in that left corner, the value is like a little over 13,000. This is not the way to register. If you do the math, that's like an 84% registration fee. So what you should do is come into your menu, go to your ship menu, and then cycle over to the ship that you want to sell and register it from this screen. As you can see, this is not 11,000 some, it's 8,700, which ends up being like a 66% registration fee. So this is the way you want to do it. And then go to him and sell the ship. Go to here, Y, and then there you go. You can sell it for a lot cheaper than what it was going to be. So a lot of times you're outside your ship and you're like over encumbered. Traditionally, how the developer is meant for it to be, you walk in there, you walk through your whole thing, you go to your cargo thing, your cargo hold. But if you just go to your menu, as long as you're close enough to your ship, go to ship menu, hold X on your controller, and you can go to your inventory and you can store stuff being outside your ship. The next tip has to do with using the digikey to lockpick certain doors or loot containers, and you have to have the security skill rank 2. I didn't know this till way later because usually I just unlock these and go back to playing and I don't read them. But the second sentence is the rings turn blue when the pick can be slotted, which is more helpful than it seems. You end up doing a lot of these as you're scavenging around, and you can end up spending a lot of time that now you don't have to spend as much time. So the outside ring is blue, so that means this pick can be used. This one can, this one can, this one can. This one's white. This one's not going to fit in this level, and this one can as well. So it really narrows down like your choices, especially on like the master locks or expert locks. Any time saved is going to help you in the long run. The next tip is, if you guys aren't aware, the lodge has 2 infinite storage containers. One's a safe in your room and the other is near the crafting stations. So if you go over here and you take all your resources that you want to build with, and you're going to be quite encumbered, you can walk straight over to your pilot seat, sit down, and fly directly to your lodge. This stops you from having, you go fast travel, this stops you from having to walk all the way through like New Atlantis to get to your lodge. Saves a bunch of time. And then you can store all your crafting stuff there for whenever you need it. You can just go straight there and craft away. So once you enter the lodge, you can just head up these stairs and then just go directly to your room, which has a nice safe with unlimited space. And transfer in all your resources that you want to keep for later. So my next tip is, if you're looking for any exotic inorganic material, it's almost required to have the rank 4 scanning skill. This allows you to scan the planet from space and reveal any of the hot spots that has that unique inorganic resource. Kind of is what it is. For example, I'm here, the Huygens system, and it has this unique material down here. So I can fly to this planet and I can scan it. So once I'm here actually on the planet, I can scan it, and it reveals any of these spots that has this Tanzine in it. So you can land in there and actually find your unique resource instead of just landing somewhere and running around and searching. So yeah, all these unique ones you can either directly just mine just to sell. They sell for a lot more than iron and aluminum, of course. Some of the high-end crafting requires these unique ones. So they're definitely useful, and I think the perk is one of the better ones that you can go out here and actually not waste a ton of time. So the last two tips have to do with when you're on a planet or a moon and using your scanner feature. This is, you kind of need the scanner to fully, survey a certain planet. I know Constellation has those bounty missions, but you take out the scanner and you can end up pressing A on any of these black unknown items, and it kind of gives you more details. You can do the same with these unknowns out here, and these ones here, kind of like the man-made ones, are not traits. Makes sense. So the structure, but if you're just aiming for traits, you go to these like naturals. Maybe there'll be life forms. There's a few of them. Just head straight to this. It's 820 meters, and you can bypass a bunch of stuff and end up saving a lot of time and headache just by knowing which direction to go to. And then another one is if once these turn white and you've been to them, you can fast travel with it. You could either fast travel directly to the landing thing, or if you go to your ship, you can fast travel, and it puts you directly in the cockpit. So then you can take off. So you can wander as far as you want, look around, and then still get back to your ship pretty quickly. It doesn't work, of course, if you're over encumbered. But if you're fine on weight, then again, it saves you some time. This also helps, like, if you have two trait locations that are in opposite locations, maybe you go one direction, grab one, and then you notice the other one's on the other side of your ship. Fast travel to your ship, and there you're halfway to the next one instead of walking the entire way. So yeah, there's my quick 15-ish tips that I've learned over 150 hours of Starfield that I use almost every day. I hope you've learned something. Comment below if you have any other awesome tips or tricks that you want to share, and I might end up making a new video with some updated ones. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video and you want to be notified when more Starfield videos are released, please subscribe. See you in the next video.